Hello folks, and what we're going to be doing today is a little editing tutorial on the live feed.
Hello folks, and
hold on, what we're going to be doing
today
today
is
is a little
voice here because it's
editing
annoying.
tutorial on the live feed.
Hello folks, and
there we go, sorry about that. Alright, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, today we're going to be doing a live stream on editing the live feed modules and function calls in ARMA 3. So I played a little bit with this in a multiplayer mission I created. What it does is it gives your character the ability to see a little mobile screen that broadcasts a live feed, or you can actually broadcast it to a screen, i.e. a blank sign or something like that that you've set up as a TV in-game. You can set up triggers to it, and you can also set up radio and actions to it so that you can change channels if you set up multiple sources, that kind of thing. So how it works, we've got this one set up to a module, and if you see that little camera pop up on the right of my screen, is I have my character set up as a source. And so he's viewing the source feed, receiver. He's viewing the video from the source projected towards a target. In this case, a soldier right here, my engineer, is my source. He's F4. If I move him around, you'll watch the camera move around. And what he's doing is he's targeting this missile specialist, and that's the target of my video. So if I move him over here, you watch the video feed. He starts running towards the target, and that's the perspective we get. Now there are a couple ways to activate this module and or trigger, and that's what we're going to go over today. So we're going to return to the editor. So what we have here on the left hand side is we have it set up with modules, and what we have on the right hand side is we have a trigger set up with a call function right in here, and this is what activates. So once this trigger is activated, in this case it's in a 5 meter area, and any player is activating it, but once it's triggered, this condition becomes true, then source 1, target 1, and receiver 1 are all variable names that I've given this soldier. Right here is receiver 1, so he's receiving the image. Source 1 is capturing the image, and target 1 is what he's capturing, what image he's looking at. And in this integer, in this function, then this variable I have set to this variable name. It can be anything. You can name it Sam1 as long as you indicate that in the syntax of this function. So in this case, the source of your live feed will always be this first integer here, or this first value variable. The second variable is going to be the target, and the third variable is going to be the receiver, regardless of the naming convention I've used here. So whatever you want to receive the image is going to be the third in line here, whatever variable you name it. The 0 here indicates what type of feed you're giving it, and there's some filters that you can give your image, the first one being nothing at all, the second one being the default, which is like a color camera like you saw, the third is night vision, and the fourth is a thermal filter. So when a player character walks into this, what triggers is this code, and then this code gives you the live feed. And just so you can see it working, boom. All right, so we're going to run over to this chair. Ta-da, there it is. The difference with the call is you notice my target now, we're looking through his feet, and I haven't been able to adjust the camera on that, so I don't know. It's like if I send him over here.
Move back.
It's like we're looking from ground level up. The other one was attached to him like from the mid-level somewhere. So now we're looking at feet instead of, it obstructs a bunch of the view. And I'm sure there's more we could do to play around with that. I just haven't done that yet. The other drawback to that is I'm the only one seeing the image currently because I'm the only one named in the function call. If you wanted to put other variables in there, i.e. you have to name this guy and this guy if you want them to receive the image. In multiplayer, then you have to give them variable names. Not a big deal if you're only doing 2 or 3 guys, but if you're doing 16, 17 guys, 20 or 40, whatever, then it's more of a pain on me, I guess. I'd rather just use the module and use the linking convention, so we'll get into that. In multiplayer, also what I found is you set up the trigger here, and in this case what we have are the modules live feed set trigger. They can be found in your modules other category, and here's the live feed. We got these 5 different things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got the initialization, so that's oops, I don't want that, go away. The initialization module, you can group it to, or you can link it to a group of synchronized objects or an individual specific object, or which is here, or the objects in the that are synchronized to that trigger. I'm going to leave it as oops, here we go, the group. So what it's saying is like, okay, this guy and everything in this group should see the image, which is fine. In multiplayer, though, I found that if you link it with these, by linking it to the other players in your group, sync to, I should say syncing it, in multiplayer, and then what happens is if you go through the trigger and trigger it first, activating these modules to activate the live feed, then you'll see the image, but these guys, your other players, won't. But if they go through it first, boonk, hit the trigger, then everybody gets the image, and it works fine. Now, I haven't tested that with the server side, but on a local side, it works fine, even though it's not supposed to. And it gets kind of wonky. So that's one of the advantages of using modules. The other advantage is anyone who I want to see the image, I just sync to. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so the target, all right, let's take the source first. The source is where it's going to be broadcasted from. So we have that link to the trigger as well, and then we have that link to our source. So as this guy runs around, he's like holding a video camera, basically. Think of it like that, and we're capturing the image from his point of view. And then the target is linked to this module. In this case, this is our target, and his point of view will always be pointing towards the target area. One of the other cool things you can do, and why I have these, why I have these little triggers set up. So these are the additional live feed and live feed target and live feed source. So what we're going to do is we only need this one initialization. And what we can do is set another source. So we're going to sync this to this chair as the source. You can sync it to objects. And we're going to sync the target to this campfire. Oh, it already is. I was playing around with it. Okay, so it's synced to the campfire. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sync these two to this flag. Bunk, bunk. And then we're going to edit the trigger, and we're going to temporarily remove this code. So now what will happen is we're going to run over here to the left. We're going to initialize this source and this target, and then we're going to run over here and switch the sources and the target, so that we basically, like I did in my mission, is we had a counter, we had a spy that we captured who gave us an additional code and let us tap into a different computer. So we ran over here, activate that. Okay, now as we can see, we got our guy running around. We can give him a command, go run over there. So we're looking at everything from his point of view, but now if we run over here to switch the source and the target, doink, now you can see, oh, I burned myself. Now you can see we're, ooh, burn. We're in between the chair and the fire, and we're actually looking at this feed. Now if I run over here, it isn't going to switch back. What it's going to do is, I think nothing, because it's not a reoccurring trigger. But yeah, see, nothing. But if it was a reoccurring trigger and it initialized again, it would actually just shut this camera off. And you can, there's a module that can terminate the camera feed if you want to do that in a mission. But if you reinitialize your camera feed from the same trigger, it will get rid of that image as well. So there's a lot of applications you can do that with this particular module and or function, and hopefully you have fun with it. I did. In a mission, it was really fun. If you want to play the mission, it's published on Steam, and it's called Lighthouse Rescue, and Khan Online, Khanonline, is the author. And that should do it. And I'll talk to you guys soon with another tutorial and or teach and learn. And I'll see you later.